Joanne, you were right. Wildlife corner, wildlife corner. The rhino. Yes, an amazing, amazing animal. I specifically focused on the rhino today. I had a couple of options. I specifically focused on them today because it is actually Endangered Species Day. International Endangered Species Day. So it's not a happy topic, but it's a real topic. And they're critically endangered, the rhino. In Kenya, especially the black rhino, only has about 5,500 individuals left living. Not a happy statistic, but it's a fact. So I wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of animal lovers out there. And, you know, we've been charged to be stewards of these animals. So we really need to face up to it. And one of the things is when we learn more about them, then we appreciate them, right? Okay, so now our word of the day is also important here. So don't forget that word, right? Magilani. Looking for my Kiswahili word for rhino. So let's learn the Kiswahili word. Kifaru. 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 And you know what rhinoceros means? It actually means horned nose. And that's from the Greek language. And actually, I think some of you might remember that my mom is German, so I grew up speaking German. And it's actually the same exact word in German. Nashorn, nose horn. So I thought that was kind of, you know, a lot of people like to know where words come from. The Maasai word, emun. Emun. Now you might hear me making a funny sound, the ending N sound. It's not just a normal N, emun. No, it has a funny kind of like a little ny at the end, emun. So it doesn't have another syllable, but it just has another ny. So I hope you guys are trying that at home, okay? Emun. Okay, so now what are some of the characteristics of a rhino? First of all, the first thing that my colleague Sadera told me, Zamasai told me, they're brave, very brave and very strong. That's what the Maasai people say. So they'll say, Ena, Emunya, Magilani, Ena, Emunya. So brave like a rhino. Okay, so what makes them so brave? Hey, they're huge. So they have a lot of weight behind them. They can afford to be brave. The white rhinos, we have them in Kenya, they can be up to 5,000 pounds. The black rhino, slightly smaller. The biggest it goes up to is about 3,500 pounds. They're very strong. They do not actually have the adult rhinos do not have a predator. So they can ward off a lion. They're huge, they're fast. They can also go up to 35 miles an hour. Their horn is very sharp. They're very fierce. And they ferociously protect their babies. They have a gestation period of 16 months, 15 to 16 months. And guess what? After you've had a baby for that long, you're going to protect it, right? I mean, any mother wants to protect their child, but even more so when you've had, you've had to have that baby inside you for that long. So as I was saying, in Kenya, there's two species, the white rhino and the black rhino. There's actually 3 other species that are in Asia. One of them is the Indian rhino. Then there's the Sumatran rhino and the Javan rhino. And a few of those, like the Javan one, apparently is quite a bit smaller. I've seen a rhino once. I saw it actually in Tanzania. They are built like tanks. They've got tiny stubby, like short stubby legs. And then when they run, they kind of move like this because their legs are so short and strong. But they can get up to, as I was saying, up to 35 miles an hour. That's fast. You might look at them and say, wow, those creatures look like they've been on this planet for a long time, and they have. They actually originate from the mid-Miocene period. So they've been on this planet for about 15 million years, that species. So you're right, if they look, they kind of look related to some of the dinosaurs because they've been around for a long time. The other thing is, if you read about them, you'll find out actually they were woolly rhinos. So there's a lots of ones that went extinct, different subspecies, different species and subspecies. But we do have 5 with us still. And so we really need to protect them. And let's be fascinated by what we learn so that we can, really preserve them. They're often shy. You don't see them. They don't come, out in the middle of a lot of other animals. They're often solitary. Sadera, who is our driver in Kenya, and he's a, Maasai warrior. He's been around lots of wild animals. He's also a tour guide, so he takes people on to see animals in the Masai Mara lot. He's saying they have very tiny eyes, so they have poor eyesight, but very good hearing. They can fight, when they're protecting their animals, their calves. So they don't have, as I was saying, they don't have animal predators, but they do have human predators. So humans have poached a lot of them. And the reason why people like to kill them is because they just want that horn. In certain Asian cultures, they actually grind up the horn and use it as a medicine. They think it has some medicinal qualities. But to me, I can't imagine anything sadder than seeing that huge and beautiful animal killed for just the tiny horn. Just doesn't make sense. So anyway, I think that, we really need to work hard together to conserve our beautiful animals. And I know that, all of you animals lovers out there are with me on this. And so let's just remember one of the qualities of rhinos, of kifaru. They're very magilani, very brave. They're willing to face up to predators to be able to protect their young. And I think that's a very admirable quality. Okay, well, that wraps up our wildlife corner. Oh, but wait, I have another interesting fact. I was asking Sadera about, anything more in Maasai about rhinos. He was saying that actually outside of Nairobi, right outside of Nairobi, there's a very famous livestock market. It's a very crowded area now. The current name for it is Dagoretti. Guess what it used to be called? It used to be called Njoro Emunyu, the spring of rhinos. So that means that used to be a watering point for rhinos. So right near where Nairobi is today. So I thought that was very interesting, since it's such a congested city area now, but it used to be full of rhinos. So that just shows you that human wildlife interaction has been going on for a long time.